What is happening? I'm N64Josh, and it's another vlog. And I'm live, twitch.tv/N64Josh. And I got my chat here, and we're going to be talking about the things they want to talk about. So, first up, Apex, coming to the Switch, potentially, on February 2nd. Stuff's been data mined, it's looking like that's when the new season starts. So it's got a lot of people thinking Apex is going to be making its way to the Switch. Now, this gets me very excited because I love first-person shooters. They are probably my favorite genre of game. Then you've got Mario Kart. You got shooters and then Mario Kart. And then anything else that Mario does, right? So I'm really excited for this one. I've been playing so much Fortnite, I'm like, how am I going to deal with all these season passes? I bought the season pass in Call of Duty, played one day, so I got to put a little more time into that one. But Apex, I'm a huge fan of the Titanfall series, and we know that people that make Titanfall make Apex. So how's this going to run on the Switch? I'm very hopeful it's going to be all right. I mean, I'm used to playing 30 frames a second with Fortnite. It's not so bad. It could be worse, but it could be better. But you know, there's always the rumors of the Switch Pro coming out, in which case it would probably run better. But the rumor is right now that Apex is coming February 2nd. Super Nintendo Dad in chat also says plus Plants vs. Zombies. So EA may be dropping some stuff. It says, let's see, Super Nintendo on Twitch here says it was in a small font at the end of the Japanese trailer. It was later removed and not talked about by EA. So there you go. There you go. Apex Legends possibly coming out February 2nd. You will definitely see me playing that game because of my love for shooters. You know, like I've said, I love shooters. So a few other things that chat wants me to look at. We're going to go through some questions here. Let's see. We got, do you think traditional first-party directs will come back? My gut feeling is this. We're going to see one major... Here's what I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what they're going to do. Last year, we pretty much saw one major direct. And then it was pretty much silent during the summer. There wasn't much of anything where there would usually be a big E3 announcement. Did lockdown wipe out E3? Is E3 is it not gonna be a thing anymore? I just got registered, like, I got my email to register for GDC today. Again, it's all online. So, with that being the case, like, will we see Nintendo pull away from these major events, these conventions, and just focus on pushing their stuff out the way they've been doing it? I mean, they told us, they said directs will be changing, and they seem to be doing these bite-size, you know, sometimes it's like 2 weeks before the game launches, and we find out about it. Sometimes it's a little bit, you know, it's a little further back, like with Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. But they seem to be letting their third party, I mean, you have to remember that Nintendo going into the Switch was... their back was against the wall, and they were like, you could see they took full responsibility and were going to make sure that the Switch flourished with or without third parties. And they did that by pumping out The Legend of Zelda, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, Splatoon 2. Like, that was all, those four major games were in the first year. In year two wasn't that different. Like, in year two, things were similar. It was like, they were like, okay, we've got to come out of the gate, like, swinging. And they did that, right? And as the install base of the Switch has grown, third parties have taken notice, and they want their games on this system. You've got companies like Bethesda and Capcom that have kind of been along the ride all the way. And so with Monster Hunter coming out, they're taking care of that. There's no direct. It's here is a presentation by Capcom for Monster Hunter. And I think we're going to see more and more of that, of Nintendo just letting their... and they do the third-party showcases periodically. But I think the deep dives are going to happen within those studios. And, I mean, it's probably less production costs for Nintendo. You know, not that it was probably a drop in the bucket, honestly. But and one of the things that it does, when we don't get these massive directs full of all of these games, we get to... like, it's laser focused marketing. Like, right now, we're talking about pretty much 2 games, kind of 3 games if you include Persona 5 Strikers. I know it's a little niche, kind of, but we're talking about Mario, we're talking about Monster Hunter, and Nintendo's leaning into Mario 3D World. You have to purchase that game to get the pins, and they know their fans are hungry to get any kind of Nintendo swag. And so they want people purchasing this game. That is their focus right now. And because they're more laser focused on these individual games, not this umbrella, it as a creator and as a fan, it kind of sucks. I think a lot of people would agree with that it's like it's not as much fun only just having the one game to talk about. Like, I remember in the Discord, N64Josh.com/Discord, when a direct would take place, it was like people were hyped, and it was like they would talk about this game, and then the conversation would move to this game, and then this game, and then this game. Yo, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. And that's gone now. That's gone. So will they come back? That's the question. And I don't know. I foresee there being one. And I think part of that is, I think that's even to appease the shareholders that want to know what is happening. You know, not just market to the consumer, but the shareholders want to know as well. And so if you look at last year in March, we kind of had the only major direct from Nintendo that I can remember. Everything else was indie or third party, and we kind of had the year laid out. And it was a little bit of a slow year for first party. I mean, Animal Crossing was huge. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it sold like crazy, and I think it hit at the right time for that game. But Clubhouse games, I mean, you know, it was okay. And Hyrule Warriors did well for a Musou game. Did very well. But we did see other companies, especially, and there were some great indies. Like, I feel like the library on the Switch is very healthy, and then in some cases it's so healthy that we're getting all kinds of shovelware and stuff in the eShop that's just kind of, you know. What I want to see from a direct or something from Nintendo, what is happening with Nintendo Switch Online? When are we going to see Game Boy games? When are we going to see Game Boy Advance games? And when are we going to see Nintendo 64 games? That is a library that's just sitting right now. And the majority of the games that we have on the NES and the SNES, for me personally, are games that I grew up with. I've played through multiple times. I'm good with those. I'm glad they're there if I want to go back and visit them. But I know there's Game Boy games I've missed. Minish Cap. I played Link's Awakening on Switch, right? But that would be another one. But even going back in, like, all the Wario games and all of the even just Super Mario Land. Now I've played through both of those as well. But here's the thing: I recently picked up the Konami, like the different Konami collections, Contra being one of them, and I got to play the Game Boy version of Contra, and I'm having a really good time with it. Like, going back and hearing the music and just seeing the very basic graphics, the pixel art, I love that stuff. So I want to see some of those older titles. So let's see. Going back. Oh, Crown, don't worry about interrupting. That's fine. We're doing this live. Okay. So, looking at the chat, somebody else said, Animal Crossing. Update expectations and or direct rumors. We kind of covered direct stuff, but Animal Crossing, I'm thinking March is going to be huge for Animal Crossing. I think we're going to see the last month of Nintendo's fiscal year is going to be another big push for Mario, but I think they're going to be using Mario from different angles to push Animal Crossing. You know, we know, like, I'm curious if March 10th, Mario Day, is going to be a holiday for Animal Crossing. And if Isabelle won't dress up as Mario, just like she did, or if she did, whoever did, dressed up like the Easter Bunny, you guys know what I mean. And I'm just curious if that's going to happen. And like, what's the event gonna be like? Are we gonna be given a jump emote? Like, I'm curious on what's gonna happen there. We know we've got stuff happening with Pave this month in Animal Crossing. And I believe that we're going to get DLC, like a paid DLC for Animal Crossing late 2021 or early 2022. I don't, like, with over 30 million copies of the game in the wild, I don't know why Nintendo wouldn't do DLC for this game. It wouldn't make sense just to keep supporting it. And there's so many characters we haven't seen, and there's the stuff that's been data mined that hasn't come to fruition yet. So I think there's still a lot coming with Animal Crossing. And it does, I mean, albeit a game that I've spent 600 hours in, I still feel like there's quite a bit of stuff lacking, and hope that we at least get everything that was in the past games and then some. That's the hope. But again, fingers crossed that Mario Day is a holiday in Animal Crossing. That's one of the things I'm hoping for. So, let's see. Last Super Nintendo says February will be Pokemon's month. They will talk about 2021 Pokemon. It is so confusing as to what they'll do, because Nintendo could be all, we don't have a new Switch planned, and it could be announced and released 3 weeks later. So, Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon it's the 25th anniversary, I believe. There's so many anniversaries for different series this year. I was talking about this the other day. I hope we see a Pokemon collection. I would love that. I would love to see a collection of the older games that we could go back and experience on the Switch. I think it would be great. And again, we know Snap is coming in April, but I think Pokemon is going to I think they're going to ramp up quite a bit this year. That's my gut feeling. So, lastly, Easy Peasy says, I miss the old direct style, but that being said, I don't think their recent directs have been disappointing at all. All I'll say about the recent directs, like the indie, the third party, they felt a little more niche and like, hey, we're going to take a little more risk, which that's the Nintendo I like, because that gives me hope that if they're going to take risks on more niche IPs, that F-Zero could make a return, Star Fox could get some love, and we can start seeing all of the series that we miss and are wanting. I got my monitor right here is the Smash Ultimate box art, and I can just see all these characters. Captain Falcon, Pit. I mean, can you imagine another Kid Icarus title that was done really, really well? That would be great. We know we're going to hear about Bayonetta 3 this year. It's an exciting time to be a Nintendo fan, because the company is doing so well and is so healthy, and that means we should be getting some amazing games. And honestly, Nintendo has utilized the Wii U library to fill gaps, but they're running out of titles. And so hopefully tail end of this year and all of next year is going to be brand new IP, or I'm not just brand new IP, but brand new games, not just ports from that system. And I mean, I get it. I understand why they ported stuff over. A lot of people missed out on some incredible titles, and you guys will see when Super Mario 3D World comes out. So that's going to do it for this vlog. Thank you guys for watching. If you got stuff you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments below. We're going to do this daily, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, twitch.tv/N64Josh. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.